Hi, we are Group 3, and today we will be talking about why we are for globalization and how globalization has made Canada better.
We will first briefly go over what globalization is, and then talk about how globalization has impacted the Canadian economy, international relations, and cultural diversity.
As defined by Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, globalization is defined as an increasing internationalization of markets for goods and services, the means of production, financial systems, competition, corporations, technology, and industries. Amongst other things, globalization gives rise to increased mobility of capital, faster propagation of technological innovations, and an increasing interdependency and uniformity of national markets.
We would now like to discuss how globalization has benefited Canada by enabling economic growth, increasing jobs, and improving the standard of living for Canadians.
Information technology has heavily impacted the economy and globalization within Canada. According to the Computing Technology Industry Association's Cyber Provinces 2019 report, the Canadian tech industry has seen an increase of approximately 249,000 jobs since 2010. To add to this, approximately 70,000 new Canadian businesses have been founded within the tech industry, which contributes toward the Canadian economy. Tech jobs also provide higher salaries for families, with an average of $78,070, and as a result, this increases their standard of living as well as the country's economic growth. Canada is also a global leader in an established technology sector. From a paper written by Goodman's LLP, it states that Canada's tech sector is directly responsible for generating more than $117 billion of Canada's economic output. Canada is also home to offices of technology firms, both local, such as Shopify and Hootsuite, and global international firms such as Microsoft, Google, Amazon, and Uber. These companies establishing offices in Canada have increased the job opportunities for Canadians by allowing them to pursue their profession from within Canada. Information technology has greatly benefited globalization within Canada and in turn has helped grow the Canadian economy, generate more revenue, and create more jobs for Canadians.
Furthermore, globalization has allowed Canada to further its economy by having Canadian leaders put a focus on developing new technologies. This in turn helps drive innovation, increase jobs, and increase the overall education standard in Canada. In an article posted by the Government of Canada titled Innovation for a Better Canada, the government highlights its plan to drive economic growth through innovation in order to compete in what the article calls the global innovation race. This need for Canada to further itself is driven by increasing globalization. The article states that in Budget 2016, Government of Canada committed to allocating $2 billion towards increasing infrastructure at universities and colleges, enabling professors and students to turn discoveries into new products. They also allocated $800 million over 4 years to strengthen innovation networks. In other words, bringing private sector stakeholders together and connecting their ideas to the marketplace, resulting in an increase of innovation and in turn an increase in jobs. Finally, they also committed to allocating over $1 billion to support the development of clean technologies that result in less pollution and more energy efficiency. Globalization has pushed Canada to invest in areas like education instead of relying solely on its natural resources for its economy. It has encouraged Canada to improve and grow economically and also technologically.
The second argument for globalization is that it allows for Canadians to grow and strengthen international relations. Canada has many trading partners ranging from the USA, China, UK, and Japan. This is great as it creates competition for products, which leads to better options for consumers in terms of cost and quality. Local monopolies can be broken down. In addition, oftentimes with free trade agreements, there are no tariffs making costs much lower for consumers. Canada is also able to acquire resources they cannot naturally get. This could be certain resources that aren't available due to geography or manufacturing factors. For example, during the COVID-19 pandemic, the Pfizer vaccine was being manufactured in the USA and Germany. Thus, globalization allowed Canada to buy and receive these vaccines without creating their own manufacturing plant. Similar to consumers having global options, with globalization, Canadian businesses have global reach for selling products versus just selling locally. This brings in a large amount of revenue for many Canadian companies. Since trade means that domestic businesses are outputting more goods due to global reach, more jobs will be created as well. This boosts the economy. In addition to the trade benefits, close international relations has further upsides. Appreciation of globalization trends enforces Canada's position in the global economy with various other nations and provides Canadians with a higher standard of living. The global era has solidified international value chains, meaning a single product can be designed, produced, and tested in various countries, which raises the competitiveness of Canada's position in the global market. Lastly, international partnerships in the market allows Canada to suppress domestic inflation while increasing the employment rates for in-source jobs. Did you know Canada ranks one of the top 10 global destinations for inward foreign investment flows? Canada's total stock of inward FDI as a proportion of the GDP is high among mature industrialized countries in comparison to the US and Japan. This investment allows companies to establish business operations or acquire assets in Canada, which increases the country's exposure to international trade.
The third argument for why globalization has been beneficial for Canada is because it has allowed Canada to become one of the most multicultural and diverse countries. This allows Canada to learn from different countries and adopt new cultures. Increased multiculturalism means that more people have an understanding of others, aligned with an increasingly diverse and competent workforce. The Canadian educational system has also benefited from globalization, attracting younger talent into the country. Currently, about 21.9% of Canada's population consists of immigrants, which is one of the highest percentages in the world, and this number is even higher in major cities such as Toronto and Vancouver. The majority of immigrants in the past came from Europe, however nowadays the majority come from Asia. Immigrants affect the economy because they increase the productivity and the GDP. Immigrants in the workplace can help to reduce worker shortages and can supply the country with specialized talent that might not be available locally. Globalization also results in an increase in diversity and thus an increase in human rights and democracy. Canada works with the UN closely today and historically has been advanced in human rights, such as being involved in the creation of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Immigrants are more vulnerable to discrimination, but Canada's human rights policies are advanced and prohibited it. Also, Canada's multiculturalism results in diverse groups in the workplace. Because of their different backgrounds, these groups are able to bring various perspectives to the table that allow them to come up with creative solutions. A 2015 study found that inclusive companies are 1.7 times more likely to be innovation leaders within their industry.
Furthermore, over the past few years, Canada's fertility rate, which is the amount of children born per woman throughout their lifetime, has been steadily decreasing while the elderly population has been increasing. This has lowered Canada's population replacement level, reducing it below the amount required for a sustainable future. Luckily, Canada's robust immigration system allows the country to maintain a steady replacement rate, which also benefits the labor force that is needed to support the economy. As of 2020, the Government of Canada reported that more than 80% of the immigrants allowed into the country recently had been under the age of 45, suggesting that they will be able to contribute to the Canadian economy for a significant portion of their careers. Lastly, globalization has also helped many Canadian universities, such as the University of Waterloo, gain international recognition for their high quality of education. As a result, students from around the world choose to come to Canada to pursue their post-secondary education. Not only do they add to the cultural vibrance of Canada, but they also contribute to the innovation in the educational system, and many support the economy through part-time jobs. More importantly, many of them will stay in Canada for their career, further contributing to the country's success. In conclusion, many daily goods we enjoy, such as the avocados on our toasts or the cup of freshly brewed coffee, are a result of the positive impact globalization has had on Canada. More specifically, globalization has allowed Canada to further its economy, economic growth, and jobs by utilizing information technology, which has helped generate more revenue and contributed towards the economic output of the country. Furthermore, globalization has pushed Canada to invest in new areas like education, and it has encouraged the country to grow both economically and technologically. Another perk of globalization for Canada is its benefit to grow international relations. By establishing trade agreements, consumers of Canada have the benefit of having better quality goods at low costs. In addition, having international customers allows Canadian businesses to thrive and prosper, which brings in greater revenue while also creating additional jobs. Lastly, globalization has put our educational institutions on the global stage. Being one of the most diverse countries in the world, globalization has allowed Canada to bloom with the positive impact the immigrants have had on the economy, such as in the job market. Because of Canada's unique population, there's also an increase in human rights, filling of gaps in the job market due to aging baby boomers retiring, and diversity and new perspectives in the workplace. Ultimately, it is clear that globalization has made Canada better.